Senator David Long from Fort Worth, President Pro Tem.
Thanks for seeing us.
Senator, good to see you.
Are things going pretty easy for you?
Oh, it's my chief of staff, Jeff Popp, is here too.
Yeah. Well, listen, thanks for seeing us. Senator Long is one of our good friends, and I kind of remember when you said, well, I'm just a freshman senator.
Okay.
And that was how many years ago?
Now it's been 13 years.
Yeah. So, anyway, you're in tough negotiations right now, I understand. And anyway, appreciate it.
Well, the other side just doesn't understand that we're in the worst economic times since the Depression, and that there's only so much money to spend, and that we shouldn't put ourselves in a situation where we're going to look at a tax increase in 2 years or a cut/slash spending. And at some point, we just have to, draw the line and say we have to be smart here. We're lucky we've got a governor like Mitch Daniels who's governed in a prudent way that has kept us from overspending and hasn't got us underwater. And there's very few leaders like that in the country, and had the willingness to do the cuts and trim government the way it needs to be done to put us in this situation, and for us to ignore that process now at the most critical of times, we're not willing to do that. So it's kind of a
Eric said that we're
difficult
one
time
of only three states that have a surplus in the United States.
I'm not sure where the numbers are right now. Clearly North Dakota's one that's in good shape because of their energy situation, a very small population. Alaska was in that position at one point. Again, energy, being a real wealthy source. And I think, I'm not sure where Texas is. Texas is in there were a few other states maybe at one point.
Yeah.
That snapshot's changed quite a bit.
Is that one of the issues that some want to go into that surplus and use it now? And
they want to spend it. They want to spend it. And again, you look at the school spending. For us, compared to other states, there's who was going to slash for? I think Utah of all places. Not generally looked at as a state that's upside down. It's fairly conservative in its way it's operated. Good leadership. I think they're going to slash a couple billion out of there. What they're going to do is shorten the school year 5 days. That's what it was. Others, South Carolina, cutting $1 billion out. I mean, they're in big trouble out there. All states are. Revenues are obviously way down, and it's a.
What is our 2-year budget? 12 billion or?
Well, typically we've got now about 28 billion is where we are goal, but we're not going to spend that this time. We're going to spend less in this budget than we proposed last budget, and that's how tough the revenue situation is for the state.
Well, we're here to thank you for the position you've taken to keep the gambling, if that's what we can do, out of the process of because you're here for the budget, and that's there's plenty of controversy there. You don't need to inject other controversial issues, and of course gambling is one, and that's why we're here to kind of give you support and thank you for that stand. And
well, I appreciate that.
Hope that gambling is gambling in itself is one thing, but casinos that take billions of dollars out of our state and cause social consequences is our concern. What it does to your community, the crime rate and the bankruptcy rate, and businesses simply don't want to locate a new facility in a casino town. And it's kind of that's what we're.
The more you live with this and you hear all the different arguments about it. If you look at Fort Wayne, it is a unique community. I mean, you talk to anybody who's long term there. Fort Wayne has some special qualities about it. Its size, its location, its history, its people. And you can make a pretty good argument that just some areas just aren't a good fit for a casino. I mean, the state depends on this money now, like it or not. It's one of the 3 legs. And, I didn't create it. I wasn't here when it started. But it is what it is. And that money is gambling is still going to stay out there. The issue is how much more. And there's a good argument we're saturated. Regardless of whether there's another casino created somewhere else in the state. we're kind of there now at this point. We're the third largest gambling state in the country. You know, we need to take a step back, and that's what this proposed study committee would do, would be to take a look at this whole situation. It's been 16 years since we kind of opened this door. You know, it started with the lottery in 1989.
This Pandora's box.
Yeah, really, it is somewhat.
Yeah.
And in 1993, you know, with the budget had an impasse, they overrode Evan Bayh's veto, who wanted to raise taxes actually, and took credit for not doing it when he wouldn't let him do it. But the compromise, unfortunately, was to allow gambling in the door, and as a result, it's been 16 years since this industry has been allowed to have a presence in Indiana. We haven't taken a comprehensive look at it, really looked at it, and say, okay, where do we want to go with this? What is the situation? People are claiming poverty. Is that really for the new tracks with their slots? They're already saying they pay too much for their licenses. You know, and you know, fair, accurate or not, we don't know that. We can't make decisions that would impact them without affecting somebody else somewhere else. It's like one of those games where you slap slug 'em old type thing. Remember those things where you hit it one head and then whatever it was and it pops up somewhere else. You can't. It's just like that with this issue, and you just, you know, we have to take a step back and look at it. And part of that, well, then, you know, we've included every issue to study this summer with our experts that everybody wants to talk about as far as gambling. It would include the Fort Wayne issue. What would that mean? You know, would that hurt other, you know, casinos? Would that be a bad thing for the region? Personally, I think it doesn't fit Fort Wayne. I really don't believe that. You know, what if Steuben County wants it, which is something that other people have claimed? Does that make any sense at all or not? You know, I mean, there's just that, all that sits out there, you know, and those are fair questions we have to ask. But your particular issue, and mine, because I'm a resident of Fort Wayne, is, does this fit Fort Wayne? You know, and I think we all agree, not in yours, it doesn't. So, you know, that'll be part of this, hopefully, this whole discussion this summer, and we'll get a better look at the picture from a 10,000-foot level for the state, and included in that discussion will be this Fort Wayne license, which has never been debated, discussed. No one's had public input on that discussion.
This is Barb Kenley, by the way.
I'm Luke Henley's sister-in-law and
Oh,
pastor
okay.
of Grace Presbyterian
Yes,
Church. How do you do?
we have met before, yes.
Yeah.
How are you?
Fine, how are you?
Yeah, Luke, well, we're working Luke pretty hard right
Well,
now.
good. He's up to it.
Yes, he is.
I was interested to hear you say that you want to step back and study the issue
Yeah.
over the summer, and
We have that in the budget,
good.
which
And-
is a way to address everybody under the sun who's asking for their help or something new or a tax break or whatever.
Would you be willing to tell us some of the sources of information that you'll be looking at, or are you interested in receiving information on the effects of gambling nationwide? Can we provide information to you to be of
I think
service?
all that can be part of it. What we're going to have are co-chairman, your brother, and Representative Crawford, who are the two fiscal leaders for the majority caucuses here, along with Senator Broden from South Bend and Representative Espick, who's our guy in Fort Wayne, and they'll be there along with the two commerce people from the Senate and the public policy people from the House, including Representative Bell, who's from our area as well. So we have they will be looking at the overall picture. The argument that gambling is bad, you know, in some people's eyes, will not go away, and you know, it's valid probably for a discussion as to whether we want to, you know, is enough enough, and I'm sure there'll be some discussion about that. The bigger discussion on this whole picture is, where does the state go from here? You know, Gary wants to move one of their riverboats somewhere. They got two sitting side by side, right? They want to move it and make it a land-based casino by the Borman Expressway. Well, how does that affect it? Is that a good idea or a bad idea? And beyond all that, what does that do to Michigan City and East Chicago? And again, you get these gophers or whack-a-mole, I guess, thing, you know, and it's just, it is a very complex discussion. So yeah, I think it won't be coming to me as much as important as we have, you know, you ask for, and I think a fair argument would be to have that as part of the discussion.
Mhm.
Is enough enough, you know? And I think that's